Hey guys, this is Camford 15, joined by my co-host, the Red Wolf, and we are back with another, well, I wouldn't say another, well, technically another Dr. Stone episode review, but a special Dr. Stone episode review for you guys. Centered around the, I guess you can say OVA slash special episode, whatever we want to call it, about around this guy named Ryusui.
Oh yes.
Pretty much there's nothing really story-wise that we would have to go through. Pretty much this is the story. Obviously, if you've seen the events of season 2 of Dr. Stone, you know the big thing is they want to go to the other side of the planet to go find out what the hell turned everything in civilization to stone. And the one most important thing is they're going to go on a boat, and they need to make a boat to do it. And pretty much we see through this episode at the start, they need pretty much somebody who's good at sailing boats, like pretty much a captain to do it. So that then leads them to unlocking Ryusui, freeing him from his whole thing. And then it's just a whole thing of just getting accustomed to this character, at the same time achieving the goal of getting closer to building this boat, which technically they don't even finish this episode. They get started on it, but that will more than likely be picked up in season 3. I will say my number one thing is you need to watch this special episode before you watch the eventual season 3 that's going to come out next spring of next year. Otherwise, you're going to go into season 3, you're like, who's this guy and what the hell's going on here? So I appreciate the studio who gave us this special episode instead of giving us throughout the 3rd season, which might take up some episodes and stuff like that. And we don't know how many episodes it's going to be for season 3, but I did appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, this special episode is made about Ryusui, and man, I'm just going to say this. I thought he would be a douchebag of a character.
I thought he was going to be an antagonist, like Tsukasa started out being.
Because he has that look and everything.
Yeah. Then again, Senku also has that look, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, when I came out of this episode saying this might be one of my favorite Dr. Stone characters, if not my favorite male character of the series.
Mm-hmm. I'd say so. I'd say so also. Well, next to Tsukasa.
Because this man is a straight up Chad.
Mm-hmm.
He is great. The laugh is great. Just the voice acting performance by the voice actor who did it made him great. That's why I hope the English dub does a really solid job, because I do like the English dub for Dr. Stone as well. But he's really well done. The actor knocked it out of the park. I enjoyed every scene this man Ryusui was in. You know, my favorite scene probably had to be the hot air balloon one. Definitely like some of the greatest stuff right then and there. But you see, he kind of has this snarky, cocky, like flaunty attitude, but at the same time, he's got the brains to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we kind of see in this one episode. Like, a news girl that pretty much knows everybody is like, yeah, you don't want this guy. He will be, let's just say, somebody that she'll take issues with, and he won't cooperate. And of course, Senku is like, I already freed him right now. Which we actually find. Go ahead.
Oh my god. And everybody's like, oh my god, he's doing it.
Yes. Which again, we also find out too that they have very little revival fluid because of that dumb hoe Homura who blew up the cave. Which Senku ends up using the rest of it, I guess, to get them out of the situation they needed to get out of in the hot air balloon thing. But you see him, he just comes on screen, snaps his finger, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be an interesting character. And the more this episode goes on, you're like, wait a second, I actually like this guy.
Oh yes.
The thing is, he knows his stuff about boats and everything, which is really good because this guy looks like he's the navigator of their, I guess, little joint operational, cruise they got going on. So he's very smart in terms of, his logistics on the water and stuff like that. So I think, even though his character can get a little bit out of there, he is ultimately a very good asset to this thing that they're building to the next enhancement of the world. Some other interesting things, some tidbits we also find out is, they actually, I guess you can say, start a currency system.
Yeah, they somehow were able to make bills, like dollar bills or of some sort.
And I'm telling you, this man is like, well, you see, I had to implement this currency, so if you need my services, you'll just have to pay me. And stuff like that. And they call the new bill Draco or something like that. Which it was hilarious from the standpoint, it becomes a whole plan of like, because Senku is like, you know what? Let's time to be a little bit evil here and let's use the greed of the people to be able to spend it on all these other different funds, because they realize, they think they're all rich and everything and stuff like that. Also, another character that I legitimately lost it every time he was on the screen was Yo, bro. Yo was losing his damn mind this week in this episode. I still remember and the funny part is he goes well with the two little conniving guys from the village, the little short midget guy and his little buddy. They make the perfect trio in terms of incompetence.
Pause the video for a second. I'll be back.
Sure. Okay, back. But yeah, what I was saying, Yo with those two other dudes, hilarious content. And the fact that this man Yo was making so many facial expressions of the fact that this guy was shocked from here to here to here. He was so shocked. His freaking little rock eye patch broke off.
I mean, I don't really blame him, because who would expect a certain someone to be able to come up with those kind of designs?
Oh, Yuzuriha, which, yes, I was getting to that. So they also make a clothing line. Like, it legit looks like legit regular clothes. And they're using this from like pretty much the straw, or these plant-like straw things, which it's pretty crazy that they're doing all this and they have no use of technology. And the one thing I did like is how Yuzuriha, she wasn't committed to building things, but when they build an invention to help her to make it a lot easier to build these clothes or make these clothes, it was kind of like a sigh of relief for her. So I definitely did like that. So there's a lot of less stress on her, but at the same time, she still, when she was sewing, was looking like pretty much a demon. Which, funny enough, they were making a reference of like, oh, the new age, the Stone World people, they know how to do that stuff, but Yuzuriha, she's from the old age, and she was doing it like it was like easiness to her. But this was great. Another thing that was actually fairly interesting in the episode was they were going to go. They need to. I forgot what they needed to do, but they needed to. I forgot what it was. They needed to get this MacGuffin so they could get like a pretty much an output of the oil, because they needed oil. And everything, and he was going to use the currency like, yeah, I can take you a ship and everything, we're just going to need oil to do this and stuff like that. So they were looking for oil, and they actually are going by their own map system of what Japan looked like in their era, and they would go to this one place where there was oil. Crazy part is, because a bunch of changes in terms of centuries and decades passing, the entire landscape absolutely changed. To the point, they have I guess this age of Japan here in this series, they almost got like a Niagara Falls type of waterfall going on. And that's when Senku kind of realizes damn, why didn't I think of this at this time? with all the centuries we were all freaking in stone sleep, I guess you can say, or cryostasis, we want to be more frank. There was obviously explosions because guess what? Mount Fuji just had to have a volcanic eruption at some point throughout these years that nothing happened, which it's very interesting when you put that point in there because Mount Fuji is fairly close to Tokyo, Japan in real life. And you have to wonder, in real life, is it really going to explode? Chances are it could.
Yeah. Whenever you see a man, you can better expect it can explode at any time.
Yeah, even though right now Mount Fuji is a dormant volcano, but you never know. Hey, listen, we live in California where we pretty much live on one of the most dangerous fault lines, which is the San Andreas Fault. That thing could break probably as quick as tomorrow. I'm not saying anything. Knock on wood, it doesn't break. But if you watch the movie San Andreas, you know the devastation that it could cause when that San Andreas Fault eventually just, boom, breaks. A lot of lives will be lost. So that's all I'm going to say. But knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Not in my lifetime, not in our lifetime. But
let's hope not.
Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully I'm living in another state, so it doesn't affect me too much. Or hopefully I just don't live in LA. Stuff like that. But anyways. Yeah. So you get an actually interesting premise here. Is like, oh, wow, it did change. So they have to completely make a whole new map of the area to pretty much form out. So again, more geography change, again, more science stuff here. I really like that. I really did like that. I really did appreciate that a lot. Gen being Gen, finding ways to screw people out of their money. And he gave probably one of the most evil looking faces I ever saw. Which goes to show you how conniving this guy is. And I think there was like, somebody made a reference, is like, you know what? I'm glad you didn't join Tsukasa or Hyoka for good, because that you would have been a problem.
Yeah.
But hey, Gen honestly is one of my favorite characters. He's very underrated.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I like him more when he's conniving and he comes up with plots, or if he's just shocked by what new things Senku can come up with that he's like, there's no way that can happen, and then he's like, oh shit, they just did that.
It's like my old middle school teacher once said to me, "There's a method to my madness."
Oh my goodness. But to end off, you probably get one of the most exciting parts where, in an effort to map out the landscape, they have to they pretty much have to ride a hot air balloon to get a good landscape of the area so they can draw a new map and everything. And you get the formation of this balloon and everything, but then you get the whole thing of like, okay, the crew, we need a crew. So Senku's obviously going, but they know they also need our boy Ryusui on this because, well, he needs to do, and they're kind of doing it like by a card basis type of thing, but again, kind of makes it look like, oh, you picked this card, and Ryusui picks it up. He's like, huh, you think I'm gonna fall for that? You might as well just had asked me. But he ends up picking up the card, but it's kind of a way to where it's like, how about this? We'll let you go if you give us all your money, pretty much. Which, again, this currency says, I don't know if this currency is gonna stay long term, but I feel like there's gonna be a lot of scamming going on.
Yes. How are they gonna pull that off in that age, though?
I don't know. I don't even know how they're gonna print all this stuff. So, you just can't make unlimited. But technically, I guess in the Stone Age, you can make as much money as you want to because there is no currency. So yeah, that was funny. That was great and all. And then, bro, tell us what the hell Chrome does, bro.
He ran all the way from the village, all the way to where Senku and the others are creating the hot air balloon. He as soon as he found out they were about to take flight, he he ran like a madman all the way.
Yeah, and from what we heard, because they went back to the one village, we get to start at the start, and typically by foot that takes 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
This man booked it. He's like, I could get on this hot air balloon right now. So yeah, they get on the hot air balloon. Luckily, Chrome was smart enough to take the car that Gen was offering. Otherwise, he would have been a complete idiot. Mm-hmm. But they get up into the air. They're looking at the air because they're feeling the air currents and everything. And the one thing I also did appreciate is Chrome's reaction to seeing this for the first time, because they get up and he sees the sun, and Senku's like, yeah, we're kind of the first person to see the sunrise, because from the bottom the sunrise hasn't hit, but for us, yeah, we can see it. And I just love Chrome's expression. I love when Chrome gets these expressions to things from the modern age that he hasn't seen before, because he honestly hasn't seen this, and it's all eye-opening to him, and it's like you can feel his happiness to see all this. But they almost get into some trouble where they almost actually die, because these giant storm clouds get in the way and it sucks them in. Especially, it looked pretty dope how they took it in the form of a dragon, like sucking them in. Yeah. And they pretty much come together to work together to get out of this situation. And they get out of it. Senku almost falls off the damn balloon, which they didn't realize till like damn near the end of the episode. And he's like, hey, I'm about to slip over here. Can somebody pick me up before I die? So yeah, but you get this episode ending off. You get also a nice moment between Ryusui and Chrome to where they actually bond, and they actually respect each other, because at first they had some beef going on. But then at the end of the episode, I think Ryusui realized, this guy is actually really damn smart. So, it's really cool. But this was a great episode. And this was it was pretty much 2 episodes in one. It was a full hour. And it felt fun. Like only 30 minutes passed. And it was so good. It's like, damn it, man. I want more Dr. Stone after watching this episode. But we got to wait for season 3, which is coming out next year in spring of anime 2023. Hopefully nothing in this world goes crazy to where we can get to this point in time, or that point in time. But I'm definitely can't wait to see what season 3's got in store. I think the title of this next season is called bless you.
Thank you.
It's called New World. And they're gonna hopefully go up there, see what's going on, what's the cause. At the same time, remember, they also have a mission to try to see if they can save Tsukasa and stuff like that, from his fatal wounds, correct?
Yeah.
So they can try to repetrify him and then break him out again. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting too, because they don't even have no more revival fluid now, because Senku used it up to help them get out of the situation in the hot air balloon, and stuff like that. So you have to wonder if there's gonna be another location to where there is more revival fluid, where they can revive more people. But it's gonna be very interesting to see where this goes. Dr. Stone episode of Ryusui was great. Ryusui was a great character. By far, out of all the Dr. Stone characters, he's definitely my top 5.
Yeah, he's top 5 for me too. I didn't expect to like him as much as I did.
Yeah. But it's funny because it's like he's a prick, but at the same time, he's such a great character. So yeah. But that's just our thoughts on the special episode. Put your thoughts on the special episode in the comment section. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode. Sorry for getting this video out later than usual, because this episode came out last week, but we were busy with our own personal lives, so we didn't have time in our schedule to pretty much review this. And I think it came out like on a Monday or something. It came out on a weekday, which was like crazy. But yeah. But anyways, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Camp for 15 content. But not only hit the subscribe button to my channel, hit the subscribe button to my co-host channel, which I'll leave a link in the description below. He does gaming and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes, and right now I'm working on thumbnails. So I'll try to animate all those, like all my previous videos that I've done, to make it as beautiful and as creative as I possibly can, as well as our video, which we did on Fall Guys. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make that as beautiful and as funny as possible.
Yes, we'll try our best to get to more Fall Guys content, but again, like I said, we're busy in our own personal lives, so that can kind of become an issue. But hey, it is what it is, correct?
It is what it is.
Anyways, guys, if you guys, or hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or never this video. Until then, guys, stay safe, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Until then, guys, peace.
Peace.